Hello, Working Mommy Manual listeners.
Welcome. We keep going and going and
going. That's Kathleen Wilson.
That's Nicole Corning.
And we have a special guest, Meg McDermott. She's here. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm super excited because you work at ASU.
Yeah.
My oldest son goes to ASU.
Mm-hmm.
Half the state went to ASU.
Yes. Myself included.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah. I'm a triple devil, so 3 times.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
It's a problem.
So, you know what's interesting? When I moved to Arizona, I found that people were so involved and entrenched and in love with either ASU or U of A.
Yeah.
In a way I had never experienced before.
Yes.
Because I grew up in Massachusetts. So you can you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a university or college somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all about ASU or U of A.
Yes.
It's all, and which I kind of love, right?
Yeah. It's fun for sure. I, similarly, when I moved here, I also noticed everything was ASU. I was in 6th grade when I moved here. And I was grumpy about moving here. And so, Florida.
Well, I would be grumpy from moving a beautiful state. I mean, Arizona's a beautiful state. Don't get me wrong.
But were you on water?
No. Well, so my grandparents lived on water. We lived on a separate property that was also owned by my grandparents in the middle of nowhere. So like in the swamp. Yeah.
Technically water?
I know.
Water adjacent. Water adjacent.
You're right. There was still a lot of water. And a lot of like animals. And, I grew up on a ranch. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So moving here was like, a change.
Also 6th grade.
Yeah.
You're just grumpy.
You're just grumpy about what?
Baseline grump.
Yes.
Baseline grump.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I think I took out a lot of that angst on ASU. And so when I was a senior in high school, I was getting all this mail from ASU and like scholarships and like, come see us. And I was like, no. And I threw away every piece of mail I got from ASU. And so then I started my college journey at NAU instead, which is
also so Northern Arizona,
quieter, nicer little sister that's up north.
Although that has become like that's a hotbed. I mean, everyone is going now. NAU is like it's going to rival you.
It is, which like it should. It doesn't get the attention it deserves because it really is a great school,
and they give a great scholarship.
They do, yeah. And actually, so I did receive a pretty decent scholarship from them, and then I moved up, and 2 years later, I was like, I want to move there. So I gave up that scholarship and moved back and went to ASU and finished my time at ASU. And then I said, well,
please, like for
I
your
can't
parents,
join them.
Please tell me you still got a scholarship at ASU.
No, so I was a silly goose and didn't apply for any of them.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
So is that the work you do now as an advisor to make sure people are
learn
not
from my mistakes? Don't ask me for financial advice. My advice is apply for every scholarship, and that is it.
That's right.
Otherwise, you don't want to hear what I did.
Right. So tell us about what you do at ASU.
Yeah. So, I pretty much do all things student affairs. So I've been at ASU. We're coming up on 8 years. And I've worked in a couple different capacities, but always like on the side of like supporting students. Mm-hmm. So everywhere from, I started as a success coach with ASU Online, working with graduate students. And then I transitioned into academic advising, which like by far has always been my favorite role at ASU. I love advising. And so when I was in that role, I was finishing my second master's degree in social work. And I created a program for support for the students of the college that I was working in. So eventually that did become my job. And that was my job for like a year. Thought it was my dream job. Turned out it wasn't. And then I transitioned to a different role in a different unit. Worked with first-gen low-income students with TRIO, which is a national program. And then now I'm at a brand new school that just launched this fall, School of Technology for Public Health. And now I'm like all things student affairs because we are brand new. Like there's 3 of us. Now, okay.
You're wearing all the hats.
Every
You're
single
like
hat.
the fucking bottle washer.
Yeah. Yes, literally exactly that. Like basically like from the time that they express interest in applying to the time that they graduate, I am with them figuring it out.
Which I love. And I think it's critically important. And that's some things I wanted you to dig into. And we're going to talk about some of the specific organizations that you work with that help support students. But in general, I think that a lot of times people don't understand the resources available to them through people like you. So what are some of the biggest mistakes you see, like freshmen or like people who are feeling disengaged? Like, what's the thing you wish they knew? Or they did.
I know. I wish they knew.
Just
It
smack
did
them
so many things. Well, if I could
maybe not smack them.
I'll them to go to class.
Yeah.
Start there, please.
Yes. Call your mom. She says go to class.
She said go to class. And okay, so also like while we're talking about the university, this is the world that we live in. Every opinion expressed is not on behalf of the university. I do not speak for the university. Crazy things have been happening lately with people trying to target ASU staff members. So,
oh gosh,
I do not speak on behalf of the university.
No. That's and we because we have to stay very high level from when we say financial because of the industry we're in. So it's always about disclaimers and making sure everyone understands this is Meg McDermott.
This is me
showing up. Like if I had a kid or if I was doing it again. Here are my 3 things I wish
I am speaking from my experience. I am not getting paid right now. So.
No, she is not. No, she is not. Are you asking, Meg?
I mean, I could take a couple of bucks, but So let's see. There are so many things that I wish students would know and do.
Going to class.
Go to class really is number 1. And you would be shocked the number of times like that is a conversation that I have with students.
Do you now as a student advisor, do they keep attendance?
Yes. So let's see. It's not in the same way that like, in K-12, like the teacher like takes attendance and like submits it. And then, there's data and whatever. But usually an instructor will, there will be attendance points involved in like the grading process. Every instructor does it differently. Sometimes, some just like take attendance every day and just like, throw you 5 points every time you're there. There's others that don't necessarily, do points for every day, but like if you miss 3 classes, like you're down a letter grade. So
take it serious.
Right.
And I think that's great grooming for the real world. Because
it's like you got to show up.
You have to show up.
Right.
It's your job.
Yeah.
Literally, that is your
job.
job.
That is actually your job. Yeah. Yeah. And it's, it's funny and frustrating and sad, but like so many students, especially usually in their first year or 2, they will come to me at the end of the semester. I'm not kidding you, like finals week, and they'll say, like, like actually this week, and they'll come to me and they'll say, so I'm not doing great in my classes. Okay, what are you doing in your classes? Well, I haven't been since September. I never logged in. Okay. What can I do to save my grade?
You're like,
time travel. Go back.
Now we do need to involve magic.
We do need to.
Now we do. Because you read Harry Potter.
Right. Yeah. Because you're going to have to figure that out just like Hermione did.
Yes.
So yeah, that's always a really fun game.
Okay. True story. I probably shouldn't tell this because like we're talking about being good or like trying to help your children be successful in school. But, there was I was taking comparative politics class at UMass, and I went to the first couple of classes, and I'm like, I kind of know all this stuff, so I just didn't go for a lot, and then I rolled into class finally, and it was the midterm, and I was like, well, I'm glad I'm here. I actually did well on it.
Okay, good. That's good.
But I didn't get a good grade
because
I hadn't been there. And when I say good, like I hadn't gone to any class, and I clearly had not studied. And was probably slightly hungover.
Right.
So I probably got like a high C, and I was like, oh, cool, I didn't fail. And I did, that's okay. Yeah, not bad.
Like,
not bad.
Not great, but not bad.
Not right. But that was sickening. I remember that feeling.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was like that moment of like, I can't, this is real.
Yeah.
And I just got caught.
Right.
And there's a consequence.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be good.
Well, and really that's a significant challenge, especially for like first year students who like the accountability is really on them. Like, again, they're not taking daily attendance and sending it to your parents. Like, you're not getting a phone call from the school like, oh, Johnny didn't show up to class today. Like, they're adults. And actually, like, we can't even tell you anything unless they give you explicit
permission, which I've asked both my children, and they're like, sure, Mom.
Sure.
Yeah, same thing. We had the same situation with my daughter. And my husband went down and they were like, well, we're not, this was when she was going to Scottsdale Community College. And they said, well, we're not releasing that information. And he said, we were here together when she gave you permission to do this.
Oh.
And he said, my father would just like, went off on everybody. Like, you have the nicest day in the world. Like,
right.
He's like, but I'm paying this bill. Like, I'm on the grade.
Yeah.
But that is the disconnect.
It is the
so
disconnect.
When I went for my youngest is at George Washington, and they had this full-on parent orientation. Girl, those parents.
I remember, I always reflect back to that conversation that you had with them, that you witnessed. And I think about that often. I don't know why. It just popped in my brain the other day about maybe because people were asking not the right questions and I was embarrassed for them. And I'm like, I think this is how they were also. They already gave information.
Yes. And they're asking questions about something that's already been answered.
And they were just asking the dumbest questions.
Yeah.
Like these like helicopter
crazy.
Like this one mom, it was the guy from like food services. He ran all the food services. And he just wasn't really having any of it. And this mom got up and she's like, so is there a way that I can see with their swipes, like what they're actually buying, like what kind of food they're eating? And he just looked at her for a minute and he goes, no, you cannot. And then he goes, I can. No. I was like, brother.
Well done, sir.
But it is this shift.
It really is. It's a big shift that, like, if I were to give advice to parents as a non-parent myself.
You're a parent of like multiple children. You've got thousands.
Right. Multiple children that are all above the legal age and have been raised already mostly.
Yes.
But
possibly by wolves.
Possibly,
some of them are feral.
Yeah. Very feral, but still young and impressionable and can learn.
That's critical.
Yeah, it is.
I love that.
But if I were to give advice to parents, I would say, like, start that process early because it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. Day one, you're gonna drop your kid off. Up until this point, you have counted every single little pretzel that has gone into their mouth. And like, you are the person waking them up for school. You are the person checking their homework every day. You are calling their teacher and emailing their teacher and like asking about grades and every single assignment that they've completed and why did they miss 3 points on this assignment? Like, what happened? And then they go to college and that just poof goes. It's gone.
Because you just explained my high school too. You just said is like correct. Yeah. If he's going to be 18 and an adult on his own,
we're going to have to practice accountability on his end.
He's supposed to be like animal sitting like within the next, I think there's 3 families.
Okay.
I know it's 2. And I'm like, I'm writing it down on my calendar so I can make sure he gets it done. I'm like, I shouldn't have to do this.
Shouldn't.
Well, you're not going to be.
I would recommend not.
No, exactly. But then it's like, I feel
she doesn't want to end up with any like dead cats.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Although,
maybe don't test it with other people's cats at first, but I would like maybe practice like letting him fall for a second while he's still in your house. And like,
that's
okay, you know what? I'm going to not write it down for you. If you miss it, you forget it. You're going to have to figure out how to fix it because I'm not always going to be here. And like, so students and parents like struggle with that pretty much immediately. And it's, they all do it. And it's
even if you think you're not a helicopter parent. So I'm like, I am not a helicopter parent. And I'm like, but I need to know. I need to know.
Yeah. And there's a lot that like we can't and won't tell you. Like there's some, even if they give permission, it's like a very explicit list of like things that we can share. So, and the student can select what specific things that they want shared, right? So like, they could, select, yes, access to, financial aid, but like no access to grades.
Oh, I would.
Right. Like, and
wait, okay, I just have to tell you something. So I just got back from a conference and we're in the finance industry. Anyway, they were talking about, fraud within families. And like the number one thing is family taking money from, from
grandparents.
Yeah, mostly. Anyway, and then one of the senior reps came up on, he goes, I understand family and finance abuse. I have a 13 and 14-year-old. I'm like, I second that. They take advantage of me all the time.
Yeah, they do for sure. Yeah.
So it's show up to class and just get ready sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
For the fact that child has to take responsibility for themselves, and you as a parent
you're not always going to be able to be there, which by the way, on more than one occasion, we have caught parents staying in the dorm in their child's room.
What?
Okay. Wait a minute. I swear to you, I think Heidi told me at GW, she's 52. Anyway, that I swear it was her that the last year in the dorms, that one of her dorm mates' moms, their marriage had fallen apart, and the mom was sleeping.
Yes. In the dorm room and then sneaking out every morning, because there's also policy on, guests and how long they're allowed to stay in the dorm and, all of these things. I don't work in housing, so I don't know the exact policy. I just know it exists. And they're parent is both sneaking in and sneaking out.
I thought that was an urban legend, and you are saying it is common practice. Yes. It is real. It was alive and real.
They do it, which is and I get it, right? This is your child. This is your pride and joy. Again, you have...
It's not...
No, it's not.
I know it's not okay. I understand the concern you have, and I understand why you're scared and worried, because this child is found.
And the shots still felt there.
Okay. Everything comes back to glamour shots. Kathleen works there in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
They actually had a very rigorous training program. Surprisingly, we utilize a lot of it in our financial practice. But anyway, you're using glamour.
Actually, that's very funny, because when I was in college, I worked at JCPenney Portraits. So Lifetime.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, Meg, I already am in love with you. So you need to come back, and we're going to just do one.
Yeah,
we're just going to do one on the pictures.
Okay.
And yes, if you have any,
oh my God,
with you.
it is an excellent case study of families and family dynamics, and I learned so much as a 20-year-old.
You do.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should be having these kids do. But I'll need to go work in a portrait studio. Work in a portrait studio.
In the service industry, that's another suggestion I would make.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I have asked both my boys to work in the service
industry. I think just as to be a good human. Yeah. Especially in today's world, to have any ounce of empathy for people that are working in the service industry, whether that's a restaurant, a fast food restaurant that you're going to at 2 a.m. because you're drunk, and this poor 15-year-old has to deal with you. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry he messed up your taco.
But I'm 15.
But he's 15. What do you want? Yeah. So whether it's a restaurant, it's a fast food place, it's a store, it's the grocery store, the general public.
Get out of your bubble. Get out of your bubble.
Right. I think every person at some point should work in the service industry, if not when they're a teenager, young adulthood. You learn a little bit about yourself, about the public, about how to maybe treat people with kindness and
a perspective.
Compassion. Right. And a perspective, right? Of
it's not all going to work this way.
Right. It's not all going to work this way. And it's also mistakes also happen, right? It's been, I won't do the math, but enough time since I worked in a restaurant, because I stopped after I graduated high school. And so, but even still, when I go to a restaurant and a server makes a mistake, I'm not
You give them grace. You're like, it's a mistake. Guess what? They didn't mean to do it.
They didn't mean to do it, right?
They might be super high. And you're like, son,
right?
Please try to
Take a lap, drink some water, and then
coffee.
Figure it out.
Hydrate. Let's get it together.
Right. You can do it. Yeah, exactly.
It's legal in Arizona.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. So over the age of 21, like you do you.
Yeah.
So service industry.
Do you think students going to college should have jobs?
That's a really good question. That's a hard question.
Is it one of the depends? Like, it depends. What's their major? Like, if they're pre-med and they're in 8 different...
Right. And, and actually, I would say that it depends on the student. And also, okay, so when I started college, I lived with my bachelor father.
Sounds awesome already. I want stories.
It was a time. And actually, I mean, I was the perfect child for him to have as he's being bachelor dad because, as you're fighting your child to give you permissions for college, I said, hey, Dad, I gave you every single one of these permissions. Here's how you do it. Great. What do I need it for?
You're like Gen X.
Literally. Yeah, exactly. Okay, in case you want it. When I was
He's like,
he's like, you're a good kid.
Right, you're right. No, you're fine.
There's key.
Literally, exactly that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Raised by wolves. Welcome to our world.
I was definitely, raised by wolves, raised by the community, raised by a single father, and
all the things. This is your place.
Thank you. I feel so
you are recognized. You are one of us.
Yeah, exactly. So I was coming from like a very different place. I had worked since I was 16. I'm, the oldest daughter, so I'm the responsible one.
Welcome again. Yes. You are the 3 eldest daughters.
Yes.
Give us any problem right now.
Give us any. Right. I will have it solved in 30 seconds. And I will have it mapped out for the next 5 years.
Yes. Right. I will have A, B, C, D, E, like all of the plans.
All figured out.
The plans.
Every single plan.
Yes.
And I will tell you exactly what your role is in that plan.
Yes.
And I'll have fun doing it. Yeah, exactly.
So for students, it's just going to depend on the student.
It depends on the student. Yeah.
Depends on like what their major is. Depends on like what their capacity is. Maybe what they're dealing with mental health wise.
Right. Exactly. Right. Dealing with mental health wise, dealing with like even adjusting to college. And so actually, preferably, and I'm grateful my dad did this. Like my dad told me, don't work your first year.
I agree with that.
As a single dad, not always great advice, but that was probably some of his best advice was, and he even said, like, I will pay your rent. Like, don't work. I want you to enjoy your first year of college.
Got some fun.
Right, which is great. Right, I know. He's a nice guy.
Meg's dad.
Hi. Tom, we love Tom. So I didn't work my first year. And I think that helped a lot because your first year is so crucial. It's your foundation year. Like if you start your first year on a rough foot, not going to class, falling in with the wrong crowd, drinking every day, right, not even logging into school, not answering your parents' phone calls, like all the crazy, like if you start there, it is so hard to crawl out of that hole.
Yeah.
And you're going to spend, like, if you continue, you're going to spend the entire rest of your time in college, like, making up for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like trying to fix it. Yeah. And it's exhausting. Which is another reason I would suggest, like, mess up before you're 18.
Yes.
Mess up when you're still in your parents' household and they can, like, guide you through it. Stakes are low. They can support you. They can try to be empathetic for you. But like you're in a safer, softer place to mess up.
Yeah.
When you're out in the real world, like it is hard. And like there's no magic wand to wait. Also very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Very expensive choice to be making.
Even though ASU is affordable.
It is affordable.
And state, but
and great scholarships.
But like what is the tuition right now? Like 13 grand?
Yeah, about 13 actually. Like on average, like if a first year student is an Arizona resident living on campus, the bills I see are typically like 18,000 for a semester.
Yes.
Uh,
A semester.
I get there
If you're
are
living on campus.
right, if you're living on campus, which like
Because you have a meal plan.
a meal plan, you're living on campus, you have classes, you
It's
have
all the
fees,
things.
you have like the student affairs fees, the recreation fee, you know what I mean? Like all of that is built in. So it can change, if you don't live on campus and whatever. Those are things that you're going to end up paying for anyway, whether you're paying to live off campus or on campus.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, like that is a hefty bill to see.
To drink away.
To drink away or
to
snort
sleep
away,
away,
or like
whatever it
sleep
is.
away. Like,
And it is understandable.
it is.
To like,
Yeah.
you can see how it is to just throw these children
Right.
and now into this.
And again, like
You're
mom
an
has
adult.
counted every pretzel that has gone into their mouth, and mom has woken them up for every day for school, and mom has, written their resume and
By
like
the way,
walked
it
them
is
to their
mom
first
and
job.
not dad.
Yeah,
Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, Tom. Yeah, exactly.
Tom's the exception.
No, Tom was absolutely fine. No.
Tom, you just thought
No, that was all Meg.
went over by the bus.
Yes, he witnesses it often. He knows who he is and was.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so it is hard for those kids who are 18 years old. They are still infants. Like we will call them a legal adult, but like they
are children.
Like they are children. Like just because like today they woke up and now they're 18, a legal adult, and like.
But yesterday they were 17.
But yesterday they were 17 and
350 whatever days, right?
Yeah,
like now.
Right. And now like, okay, magic wand, like you're a legal adult, but like they are still babies. Like they're
100%.
like their brain is not fully developed. They have not experienced what it is like to be an adult. Of course, if they've grown up in this household, right? And so it's also really hard to like go into college, and now there's no net.
Oh.
There's no person behind you saying like, it's fine, just keep going.
And also like not like a lot of kids at ASU come from the local high school. So they do have a friend group, but it's
sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes. So what about getting involved in like sororities or organizations?
Yeah.
Like, so what is, let's talk about that.
Yeah. And so on, the trail of advice also, like get involved. I don't care in what way, like find a group of friends. And yes, many are coming from local high schools, and you still have your friends, and maybe some of them are on campus and some of them are not, whatever. Also find new people.
Yes.
Find new friends.
That's a life skill.
Right.
Because you're going to be meeting new people.
Well, the rest of your life. And yes, I mean, my closest friend, we have been friends since 6th grade, but like we didn't go to the same college. We, have never gone to the same college, but like we've, always stayed in contact, but like we also have very separate groups of friends. Right. And so, yes. So get involved is like, if I'm talking to a student, that's the first thing I'm going to say is get involved. Even if, because especially now, because we know how important engagement is in like the university context, or I should say higher ed, because community college also counts. But
absolutely,
but there's so many opportunities to get involved. Everything from like the res life, like housing, they'll put on programming. They have other students putting on programming. They also have, the entire first week at ASU, is called Welcome Week, and there's events on events on events. Like it's hard to walk anywhere on campus and like not see somebody with like a tent or a flyer or something saying like, hey, come talk to us. Like
join this club.
Do Greek life, like whatever you want to do. Like,
just because you join it doesn't mean you have to be in it forever.
No.
But just, give it a try.
Give it a try. And ASU is a massive university, and so
how many students?
If you count our online enrollment, over 100,000 students. which is a lot. Yeah. So if you're counting on online enrollment, like that technically is like the largest or among the largest university. In-person enrollment were like in the top 10, but not the top. But anyway, a lot of people. So that also means that we have so many clubs and organizations. Like if you can think of it, it exists. You can find people that like the same thing as you. Like if you like knitting is a thing right now, crocheting is
It really is.
really big right now.
Yeah.
There is a knitting club. There are multiple crochet clubs. Like,
Can I just tell you guys? Okay, so my son who went to GW is a freshman. He's not a nerd, but he might be because he started the Pokemon Go club.
absolutely.
Because there are a lot of cool. There are like whatever happens in Pokemon Go
Right.
world, like it's the cool stuff does
Yeah.
happen in DC.
So
and
DC would be a great place for Pokemon Go.
and they get out and
Yep.
go do stuff. I'm like, oh,
That is so cool.
I
though.
know.
But that's great. And that's great
but
for them to
that's-
start it, right? And like to have the initiative to like go and start and say, like, I like Pokemon Go. I bet other people would. Let's just try this out.
yeah. But
yeah.
so even if you don't have the club that you want, but probably at
Right.
ASU, like everything is
I-
whatever club you want is
if
probably
you can think
there.
of it, it is probably
One of the 100,000 students has
has
probably thought
of
about
it and
it.
like started it, and or maybe it's it's been quiet for the last couple of years, and like maybe it needs somebody to pick it back up. Like it exists.
Yeah.
I know it exists.
But I think that's a great way to get
Yeah.
involved in the university.
Mhm.
And that's another reason I do like sororities and fraternities. Like
Mhm.
if you approach them from a level-headed way, like I think people can get a little too insane about it.
Yeah, they can get a little crazy,
But
and it's not the only way to get involved. And that's not to say that like Greek life isn't a good option for a lot of people. And there are even lots of like cultural, sororities and fraternities, and there's
Or like to Divine Nine, which is
Divine Nine.
specifically for
Mhm.
African American
Yes. Yep.
students,
Yes.
fraternity and sorority. So there's
Yeah.
like sub-cult, like,
Yeah.
and the
subcultures,
fraternities
yeah.
and the sororities have their own identities too. Like,
Mhm.
like they're not all about like who's the prettiest and the richest. or
right,
whatever. I don't
exactly,
even know if that's a thing anymore.
And there's a handful that are, that, kind of, I guess, better meet that stereotype. But there are also others that are so far from that stereotype. Like there are groups that are specific to, Hispanic students. There are groups specific to, there is a queer fraternity.
Oh, there is?
I'm gonna not remember the name
Because you're not a gay man.
because I'm not a gay man, and I also was never involved in consent. And people have to constantly remind me there is one. I'll find out.
Okay, so here,
Yeah.
I do want you to talk a little bit about
Mhm.
the organization. So the way we got connected was we have a mutual friend who you had organized an event
Mhm.
and he had been a part of it and was blown away.
Yeah.
And told us about it. And we were like, that is so cool. We need to be part of it too.
Uh-huh.
But even though we're not students, and maybe that would be a little creepy, but I still think we should go anyway. But
I can sneak you in. I can get you on the list.
They knew I liked you. I knew I liked you. So you're an advisor
Mhm.
and to this group.
Mhm.
And so tell us a little bit about the group because I think it's and then I want anyway, just go tell us about the group.
Okay, yeah. So so I'm I'm the staff advisor for Drag You Downtown. I'm on the downtown Phoenix campus, the better campus. And so this group puts the short story is they put on a giant drag show every year. And like by giant, I mean in our biggest show, we had about 400 people in attendance. So
So cool.
like a massive show with usually a huge budget. And so I got involved with it in 2023 when one of my student workers was actually the student leader for Drag U that year. And the purpose behind Drag U is like not just to put on a drag show, but also to connect students with like the greater LGBTQ communities like out in Phoenix. And to kind of show students like there is a robust, diverse, community out here that like is here and like we see you, we love you, we support you. So we bring the community in. We bring them to campus. We bring in local drag performers. We bring in local resources or local businesses that are all either queer owned or queer friendly. We do try to stick with mostly queer owned. And, so we have all of the resources there, the typical tabling situation, right?
Yeah.
And then we bring in food vendors that are queer owned. And it's it's a good old gay time. And it is so much fun. And then we also because it's a drag show, this is often, because most of these students are under the age of 21. So most of them have never been to a drag show before.
Oh,
yeah. So
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. And then this is also an opportunity for us to teach drag etiquette and this. First of all, this is what a drag show looks like. This is fun.
Yes.
This is not scary. This is not weird. This is so much fun.
It's fun. It's an art form.
Yes.
It is
expression.
The energy.
It's a performance. Yeah.
I am such a huge fan of drag shows. I will cut a bitch over a drag show. I love and what we're talking about too is this is in context of connecting students and helping them be successful in college life. And that takes so many different kind of forms, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon Go to drag you.
Right.
And there's this pendulum swing in the country where we're basically trying to almost force the conversations back in the closet.
Right.
But there is a business case as a parent who's writing an $18,000 semester check, or not just if your student is queer, right?
Right.
Because what happens is if you get, and you know this as a student advisor, if the students are connected, they're much more likely to graduate.
Correct.
And what are colleges and universities ranked on?
Graduation rates.
There you go.
Employability. Yeah, right.
All of that. So you don't need to necessarily care about a queer student and their experience, but you should support
the success of the general student body.
Exactly. And whether they want Pokemon Go clubs or they want a drag you,
right?
Whatever it is,
knitting, right? Plants. I don't care. Whatever it is, support the general well-being of students, because there's also engagement,
seeing them, feeling like they have a place, feeling like they're not lost.
Building community. And and with so many groups, especially in the world that we are living in today, community is not only resilience, but it's also life-saving. One of the biggest factors behind suicide rates is isolation, is loneliness, is hopelessness. And for teens, suicide is in the top 3 reasons behind death, causes of death. And that's preventable. That is something that we can do something about that. And one of those somethings is building community, getting them involved, ensuring that they feel seen and safe and heard and recognized. And even if they're not the kind of person that they don't need to be recognized, they're I just want to exist. I just want to be here. But even just that sense of I can exist in this space.
Absolutely.
And I can feel safe in this space. There's a big difference, especially for women, right? There's a big difference in the feeling when you walk into the room and you are the only woman in the room.
I'm in financial services, Meg.
Right, exactly.
That is my life.
The immediate tension that you feel in your body is and it's automatic. You're not even thinking about it, but your brain somewhere back there clocks it and sees oh, I'm alone here.
Yeah.
Right. And I have to be on edge, or I need to at least be on my A game and ready for anything, versus if you walk into a room full of moms, it's a very different feeling, right? You can sit down on the couch, you can unbutton the top button of your jeans, you can have a glass of wine, and you can talk about your day, right? And it is a very different experience.
It is.
And so it's the same for students.
Multiply that when you're an 18-year-old,
right,
away from home for the first time, with this mom who
Already
counted all your pretzels,
Yeah.
and I love that mom. I
Yeah.
love that
Right,
mom.
she's doing great.
I love her. But like she counted all the pretzels,
Right.
and now you kids like you're like
Yeah.
our children need these resources.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
even if you don't believe in every single
Right.
group,
Every single thing. Like I don't like playing chess, but
like
that's
you
just
don't
what
you're
you're
not
doing. Right.
anti-chess,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you like chess, that's great because you know what, you do you. And you
Yeah.
know what? Because if it helps get the graduation rates up,
Yeah.
it only makes the degree of everyone who has gone to that
so much more
university
valuable.
more
Yeah.
valuable.
Yeah.
So, but I cannot wait to like go to your next. Okay, tell us about how you
Yes.
get funding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I want to make sure that people understand
Like,
we do
where we're
fundraising
at.
for this and
Yes.
how they can get dollars to this organization.
Yes. So the fundraising bit is actually it's new. And I know it's one of the reasons I'm here today to talk about. So the short story is that so we've had this drag show for many years. We've put it on for many years. The university it has always been paid for by undergraduate student government, who is usually who pays for like these large events, right? And
For
so
any organization.
for any organization.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's usually where our funding came from. And last year,
That changed.
that changed. And that changed 48 hours before showtime. So not, in December when we started meeting and talking about plans for the show, not in February and March when we started talking to, our leadership on campus, not in April when we were submitting all of our requests for funding, or I shouldn't say April because that's when the show is. So March when we're submitting our requests for funding. No, it was 48 hours before. So show.
So that's it.
So that was it. And a handful of us, so myself and my co-advisor, and then our student leaders, sat in what we called, the war room, for 2 days and tried to figure it out. Like, because at the beginning, there was no reason given. And then over time, the reason developed.
There's an environment right now.
Right. There's an environment
Let's just
right
call
now.
it out. Like
Right.
there's an environment. And
Well, and especially last year, in April, that it's 4 months into the newer administration. And, the threats and the cuts to federal funding, especially universities that are,
they were targeting universities, they were
Yes.
targeting healthcare systems. So yes, everyone is on
edge.
Everyone is on edge.
And everybody's like worried about like these 3 letters, DEI, spooky, and everything.
But
that
DEI is just about doing the right thing, right? It's about having integrity and common sense, and
literally
that's all it is.
It's just like including everybody.
Like, do you really want to pull
That's
the rug
it.
out
Right.
from below and like for underneath an 18-year-old student who's struggling,
Who's already having a rough time,
and make that kids feel, no matter what it is. It could be a drag show, it could be a Pokemon Go club, but do you really want to make kids? You don't want to make kids feel bad. No one wants to make kids feel bad.
After they put in a semester's worth of work, like, and that's
hard. And kids take that hard.
They did, and they really did, and it was really hard because also the leadership that was making this decision, they weren't physically in the room with us, so they weren't the ones they weren't the one that got the phone call first thing in the morning. Students sobbing on the other side, like they're canceling it because they had dragged this student into the office by themselves and did not have anybody sitting with that student when they told him that they were canceling the show.
I mean, that's just. I'm crushed for them.
Yeah, correct. I am also crushed, and I was crushed when I was his first phone call when he stepped out of that office. And they were not in the room as we continued through the frustrations of like figuring out what to do. Like this is also like not a small operation to shut down. Like we had at that year an $80,000 budget, like massive budget. We had let's see, we had our event space, Arizona Center, shout out, we love you guys. And, we had our production crew, we had performers, that year we had 11 performers. We had...
Can you tell me if your friend Espresso was?
She was on that, yes.
She's one of my favorite drag queens, Espresso Grande. I did get up on stage with her.
Oh,
Yes, that was my moment.
Were you
of
celebrating?
fame. Yes, when I was celebrating turning 50 and getting divorced.
Absolutely.
And she was like, "You look good." I'm like, "It's Botox, jeans, and Pilates."
She said, "I will take that."
She's like, "Excellent." So but she truly is. She's an entertainer. She's a real entertainer.
She is the hostess with the mostest, and actually, she was going to be our host of that show, and it would have been such an incredible time. And we've had Espresso before, in previous shows. She's always been really great with Drag U, as well as all of our other performers are all incredible and super supportive. Anyway, but we had these performers, we had vendors, we had resources driving down from Prescott to come down and be at this event, and we had
and everyone was like, there were food trucks there. They got the food ahead of time. No one just gets food the day before.
Yeah, no, right, exactly. Like these vendors had prepped. I had a list of 40 volunteers of faculty and staff that had taken half of the day off to help. So
again, it goes back to common sense. Like you don't.
Right.
Let's not damage children.
Correct.
Right. Let's help children feel connected to their community.
Right, and safe, and seen, and heard.
So now we need to raise money.
Yeah, so now we need to raise money. So after my colleague and I sat in that room with our students and decided together, like, I'd never want this to happen again. So we have started a nonprofit. And we call it Drag University. So it's, in ode to Drag U Downtown, which is at the heart of everything that Drag University does. So we are brand new. Our launch party is this Sunday. I'm sure the episode does not come out in the next 24 hours, but
I don't know. We'll see.
But if you need something fun to do on Mother's Day, we're hosting Drag Bingo at Pemberton downtown from 5 to 7. There will be bingo prizes. I went around today to all locally owned, either queer owned or women owned businesses that all donated prizes. And we're raising money for Drag University so that we can continue to put on programming to connect students with their community through the avenue of drag, right? So drag is like kind of our chariot, right? Like our medium. So whether that is a drag show or a panel of local performers talking about like their experience in the community and like their experience like getting into drag, why do they do it? How do they do it? How do they promote themselves? How do they develop their persona, all of the things, right? We've done, lectures on the history of Pride and the history of drag, which there is a rich history behind both Pride and drag as separate entities. So it's all about community and fun, but engagement and safety and
belonging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also fun. Like,
yes,
cannot stress that enough. Like, fun. Drag is so fun.
It is. Right? It is most fun. If you haven't been to a drag show, I really encourage you to. Right. And I would say where I see Espresso Grande is up at Desert Ridge at I think it's Copper Blues.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's now Desert Ridge Live.
Desert Ridge Live. Yes. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
It changed. I can't keep up with it. Right. And they call us the what do they call us?
The Housewives of Desert Ridge.
Yeah, the Housewives of Desert Ridge, which I love. But you don't have to, usually you would have to go to a gay club. You can go to, a suburban mall. It's a suburban mall and
Target is across the parking lot.
Target's across the parking lot. You can pick up some, tchotchkes or whatever you need. Like school supplies afterwards.
PetSmart after. It's literally in the shopping center. And you can go and you can have brunch and you can have a great time. And the Espresso is one of our incredible local performers, but also she brings in great performers. And they do, themed events.
Oh,
And
they
they're
just used
so
Taylor Swift.
fun.
I went to the Taylor
Mhm.
Swift one.
Yeah.
They've done, we did Mamma Mia.
Yeah, I was like, and something about I can go.
Yeah, they do it. Actually, they usually do it every year around Mother's Day. So yeah, keep an eye out for it.
Wait, we're doing a really good one, and it's like killing me. Anyway, they're doing one this weekend too.
Mhm.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
you get in. Like, if you haven't been to a drag
Go.
show, go, and you can go to a play. You can do it in just about anywhere nowadays.
Yeah.
So a lot of places have drag brunch. Like that's
Mhm. Yeah, it's very actually becoming more and more common. I went to a drag brunch in Vegas the weekend that Beyonce was in town. We went to the Beyonce concert, and then we went to a Beyonce drag brunch. And it had an incredible.
was it amazing?
It was amazing, incredible. It was so fun.
Because it's an art form.
because
It
it's an
really,
art
it
form.
really is.
And
in
like
performances.
these are like actual, like these are artists. Like say what you want.
You cannot question that.
You
You
cannot
cannot
question
question that.
But
Once you see a good drag show,
you
you're like, that was
I could never.
Yes.
The hair, I could never.
So I remember I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race with
Mhm.
two of my gay friends. I was in LA visiting them, and the husband turned on the TV show, and he looks at me and goes, "Be prepared to feel like less of a woman." And
He's not wrong.
but he's not wrong, because like when like there's a reason they call them queens.
Yeah, they are
Like, they're
stunning.
stunning, and they're statuesque, and you're like,
I am not
There's-
really.
and they're a celebration of womanhood.
Yeah.
Like, as a woman,
Right.
I am like, I feel like they're reflecting this idealized version.
Yeah.
And these drag queens are sassy, and they are
And they're strong, and they're funny, and they're
fierce.
incredible.
And as a woman, like, I am like, I
Held down.
love seeing,
Yeah.
like, I love what you're reflecting back to me.
Yes.
Like, I am
100%.
so honored.
Like if only like all women could be represented this way, right?
If all men felt about women the way that gay
Felt-
with drag queens felt about women,
Yes,
like we
the world would
wouldn't have,
we wouldn't have no
we wouldn't,
problems.
yes. So
we would have a great time. And so
So-
I ask you, as I'm going to assume straight women.
yeah, oh yeah, sorry.
What do you love about drag shows? Like, what intrigued you the first time going to a drag show to say, like, this is a space I've never been to. This is something I've never done. Like, how did you decide
I
to go?
grew up in Seattle.
I know. And I grew up in Massachusetts. And
Well,
we
that's
would-
the answer.
we would go to Provincetown over the summer. So like it was like that was normal.
Well,
But it was so it was like we grew up
yeah.
where it was just normal.
Yeah.
Do you think, so for any of your friends that like maybe didn't grow up in
Oh yeah.
great places like,
I think it's
You know,
just, I think
Massachusetts
the
and
humor
Seattle.
behind everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, they're so beautiful. They're
Mhm.
hilarious. They call people out. And it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, I have been going literally since I was in my early 20s.
Oh, amazing.
You know, if
Yeah.
not late teens.
Mhm.
And as a matter of fact, I had 2 gay roommates. They're men, and they kept taking us to the gay bars.
yeah.
And so I finally was like, one day, I'm like, you're walking into a gay bar when all you smell is cologne and not cigarettes.
Correct.
This was
This is the 90s. Everyone
Everybody was like,
no.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Oh,
So
yeah.
anyway, and finally I was like, can we go to a straight bar? Because I was
Right.
you know, just
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You're like, I'd like to meet a
Wait,
husband.
Someday at some point, like, this one.
These boys are not going to be that kind of material.
No.
I know. But,
No.
but my roommates would say, but the women love you. And then I know, I just love
but that's
it.
not my.
Yeah, but no, we just grew up around it.
Mhm.
And I think for my friends, I think it's entertainment. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think
it
it's
is.
the entertainment. I think it's the show. Like
Mhm.
it truly is a
is.
performance and a show.
Yes.
Just like if you go to a musical,
Mhm.
it is a
If
musical.
you go to Mamma Mia,
If you go-
right? Like,
yes.
it's just a different genre,
Yes.
but it is
Yeah.
it is cut from that same
Yes.
cloth.
And honestly, it's a bunch of most of them are aged out theater kids anyway.
Yeah.
So like they're just there to have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's and it, you know what, to me, it is joy.
It is.
Mhm.
It is pure joy. It is a celebration.
Mhm.
And you get to be part of it, and they're
Yeah.
bringing this party to you, and you get to live and be part of that party and be part of that fantasy.
Yes.
So,
Oh.
all right. Well, I guess we
Great
are
job.
at it.
Yes, so-
So tell everyone. Let's wrap this up by
Yes.
how can
Mhm.
they?
Find us. Yeah. Yeah. So I would say like first start by finding us on Instagram. We are Drag University.
Right now.
Awesome. So it's Drag University.
I'm donating. I'm donating.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you. So yeah, draguniversity.phx is like the handle on Instagram. Like I said, our launch party is this Sunday. It's going to be a fundraiser. We do have like also an online like fundraising campaign available. The link is in our bio on Instagram.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it should come up when you look for us on Instagram. If not, find Espresso Grande and she posts about it every once in a while. So,
I love that.
yeah.
And you can find her on Instagram
Yes.
too.
Yep.
Yes.
I think it's Espresso Grande.
Okay.
Espresso. not
Espresso.
Yeah.
Espresso.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
you are
so
a delight.
find us, donate for, queer joy, queer acceptance, queer community.
Just to support students, to
Yes.
support young kids that are
Mhm.
really having a challenge right
Mhm.
now. And they
It is
really
hard.
shouldn't.
It is scary right now. And I will tell you, it is terrifying right now for young adults, for teens, for children who are just trying to be themselves.
Yeah.
Just like we all want to be.
And please consider, even if it's not your jam, just support student organizations in general.
Yeah.
Because there is a reason for you to do it. Even if you're one of those people that's like, I don't believe in that. Like, but do you believe in children being able to graduate? Do you believe in children being able to go on and be successful?
Right.
Do you believe in the dollars and cents that you're paying are going to like help children graduate?
Right.
Because
Exactly.
we're funding ASU,
Well,
right?
and also, 1 out of 5 Gen Z students identifies as LGBTQ. So, like, realistically, like, these are also your children. Whether or not you want to believe it, like, these are your children.
They are. They are.
And if they're not your children, they're your children's friends.
Yes, they're children you love.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be kind to them.
Be
Just be kind.
kind.
Just be kind.
That's it.
Anyway.
If you don't like gay marriage, don't get gay married.
That's right. You don't need to. Right. You don't need
to. If you don't want to go to a drag show, don't
go to a drag show.
Yeah.
Don't go to a drag show, but support someone else being able to enjoy that.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we ask. So anyway, you've been such a joy.
Thanks. You guys are a joy.
Okay, we forgot to tell you that we always talk about one good thing.
Okay.
At the end.
Okay.
So Kathleen and I will go first since you are literally springing up on you right now. So Kathleen, do you have a one good thing?
I am trying to think of a good thing right now. Actually, yes. I mean, listen, your last one was your son's home. Like college is my daughter will be home. Hanging out. My husband's like, the tornado's coming home. Do you realize that? And I'm like, yes, she is. But it's still a good thing. We love her.
Winter is coming.
Yes.
Winter is coming. Everybody brace.
Winter is coming.
Yeah.
So I think my one good thing is I found out, because Sam had told me he was thinking about starting up the Pokemon Go Club. And then he's like, no, he really started it up.
I'm just with Sam's voice. Mom, do you want to support Pokemon Go?
Donate to Pokemon Go.
Well, Pokemon Go is a club.
We follow us.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
Well, Espresso Grande, follow Pokemon Go.
Listen, if we do a Pokemon show,
brilliant.
Yes.
It's all coming together.
Version of two worlds. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have a one good thing?
I do. I mean, I have many good things. But I will say today, like I said, I went around to multiple businesses, to collect the prizes that they're donating for Bingo on Sunday. And I met so many incredible business owners, like just in the Phoenix area. I'll shout out Dig It Gardens, incredible female owned, their plant store. They're incredible. There's Dos Chris Bakery and Charcuterie. So it's 2 men who happen to be married and both named Chris. And it's an incredible bakery. And Amethyst Rose is a massage studio, also queer woman owned. So I just met so many incredible people today that are just giving back to their community.
I love it.
And we are so grateful for everybody at Theater Entertainment. We love you guys too. Like everybody that supports us. Like, and we have such incredible local people behind us. I'm so grateful every day for the people that like support us, like you guys. That just want to support.
Just want to do the right thing.
Right,
just want to do the right thing by the children of this state.
Right, exactly.
Children who are living here, either they grew up here, they're coming here for school.
Yeah.
Like I want them all to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I want them to make it to graduation.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Meg, you are amazing. And we always do probably the wall. We usually have nothing. Anyway, so let's just do all right, here's water bottle. All right, cheers. And Preston hold.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Aww.